Hey everybody, this is a little video I'm making for the song Tennessee Morning by Keaggy. I found a while back I wanted to learn this song, and I've always known a couple of little pieces of it, but I decided I wanted to learn the whole thing, and I went looking for some stuff and I couldn't find any information on it. I found a couple of little things that weren't really very helpful, so I decided to learn it and thought I'd put it up on a video in case somebody else wanted to learn it. It's a pretty cool little song. I'd put it at probably an intermediate level, so it's very attainable. The actual chord structures aren't all that tough. The thing that's tough about this song is playing it like Phil, because it's all about technique. He puts some really cool little things in there that you have to really be polished to do it well. As you can tell from the performance video I did, I had my share of mistakes in there. But anyway, what I want to do is just kind of go over some of the key moments in the song that I think are maybe a little bit more difficult to learn and or particularly cool. And then the rest of it you can just learn from watching the performance video. Really quick, the notes to tune up to: E, A, D, G, B, and E. Okay, I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. The intro, I just play an E chord up here on the 7th fret in the C position. Just moved up here. Oops, like that. But I have my first finger on the 4th fret of the G string to give it so I can play the whole chord. And the beginning of the song is simply just, you can play those 4 strings right in a row, skip up to the high E, and then move this finger down to the 4th fret of the B string, and there's your major 7th note. And then it goes into an A. This is just like the first position A chord, you only play in this portion of it. And I usually throw in that alternate bass note, so. This chord here is kind of a tricky one. It's kind of a take off of an A flat minor. That would be an A flat minor, but this puts an E in there, so I'm not exactly sure what it would be. Maybe it's an E major 7th. I'm thinking maybe it's an E major 7th actually. But you got the bass note with the middle finger here on the 4th fret of the E, and you get the E with the index finger, and then with the pinky and the ring finger you get these two on the 4th fret of the G string and the B string, and you just kind of mute the A string with your middle finger, and that's getting that alternating bass note in there is helpful. Then you go back to the A, and you're going to slide it up to a B, and just come over with your thumb and get that bass note just for a few moments. And then the next chord here is a tough one to play. It's basically a C sharp minor 7th, but you're going to throw in a 2nd in there, or a 9th, I guess. And so then you take that one off, and you're going to replace this next chord isn't actually it looks tough at first, but there's a simple way to get to it. So what you're going to do, you're just going to replace this I guess I'm wrong about that, sorry. Now bring bring the pinky in here just like you're going to play a minor chord, and then lift up the ring finger and stick it up here on the 6th fret of the low E string. And there's that chord, which I have no idea, and I'm not going to figure it out right here and just waste time. So see how that goes? And then this one is actually pretty easy. It's just you barring the 3 strings on the 4th fret of the D, G, and the B string, and you come down here and catch the A and the bass with your middle finger. So that section again. Just like that. And then you go back to your, I guess, E major 7th or A minor, 8 flat minor chord. And that's how I play that. And getting these notes in here and having them sustain really adds to the song. You want to be careful that parts of the song like that you make sure those notes sustain. And then it repeats. And this time, since you're already up here, I just play the first notes like that. It's just a variation of how I did it in the beginning. And the second time through, I come up to hit that note in the B chord, and I don't bother to come around and get that bass note. You can if you feel like it. And then come up to this next part, you go, you're playing a C sharp minor 7th, and it's simply with the pinky, you hit the melody notes there. And then you go back here, the same chords as before. It's just now you're hitting that upper note. And same thing here, except you bring the pinky over here to hit the B string on the 7th fret to get that F sharp in there. So here I'll play it in context. And now it changes down here. You're actually going to go to a G chord, but you can do it one of two ways. You can come up here and catch the bass with your middle finger, or I like to catch it with my thumb. It makes it easier to play the melody for me. And that melody is just G, F sharp, E, B, and then you play the 2nd fret, which is the A, down to the G. And all I got here is like a major 7th shape with an A in the bass. So it's not actually an A major 7th. That would be this. Maybe it is. And then you move it up 2 frets and you get the B in the bass. And all I'm playing here is an E chord. I'm muting this because that would be an F sharp. So I'm muting the A string. I'm playing these 3 and catching the bass note there. Okay, so that's the whole first part of the song. And then this little riff is kind of cool. All I'm doing is it's like if you're playing the E with the 3rd in the bass up here, A flat in the bass, you start your pinky there, you hit the low E note, slide it down 2 frets, and you come up to the 6th fret on the D string and hammer on to the 9th fret, and then you just kind of follow in order here. And then you catch that upper part of the E note there. And hit the low E. This chord is basically B minor 7th with an A up in the high register. And this is kind of a tough one. So you hold the whole chord, just play it up to that note, but then after you play that, you want to sort of lift up your finger there, your hand there, and catch that open E string. Trying to let as much of this sustain as you can. A little bit tricky. And then this chord is basically an A major 7th with a B in it. And then what I do here, I hit the C sharp there, I mean the C sharp, and go back here to the B, slide it up, and hit the open B. Start over. And then we go into the what I guess is the theme or the chorus of the song. I guess I'm going over a little more of the song than I originally intended to. Okay, so you're playing this part of the A chord. There's your A. You're just playing those two notes of the A chord. And you're going to slide up to an E chord. It's like a E bar chord, power chord, but you're just playing those two notes. And then you hit the open E string, and then the low open E string. And you're playing an E chord here. Again, this is like the third position. You're playing a C, brought all the way up to E, and you bar it down here. This is simply just an A with a C sharp in the bass to an open E, and then you go back into it. Third time, then you're going to go to the A. So you're holding the A here, and then you're going to put your pinky on the 7th fret of the B string. And now the way I do this, I'm not sure if Phil does it this way. I think he slides it up from here. What I do, I go up 1 fret, and I just slide it up a half a fret like that. So I slide the whole chord up. So then after you slide this major 7th shape up, you grab the 7th fret of the high E, and then with your pinky you hit the 9th fret of the high E. And then you come back here to the 1 fret down, and you slide it down like that. So you halfway you go. And then you lift up the pinky and hit that E of the A chord. And then you can just play those two notes. Back to the E chord. And you can just hang out on that E chord for the rest of the measure, or you can finish it off with that. So that repeats a whole nother time, and you can play it the same, or you can throw in or anything you want to do there, make up your own version. This next segment of the song is about my favorite part, because it has in it these things that Phil Keaggy does so well. He comes up with these chords that I could never find on my own. He has a way of taking like an A major or an A minor and doing something crazy with it like that. Or in this case, this part of the song goes. That chord's pretty cool. And I just found a way to fill in the space in there. That's not necessarily what he does on the record, but there's a lot of things you can do in there just while you're kind of waiting for the chord to sustain. And then the second time through, since I'm playing with a pick, I just go like that. If I was playing without a pick, I'd probably do Phil has a technique he does where he'll he'll backstrum a chord, and then he'll come in with the second finger and finish the whole thing. It gives it a pretty cool technique, or a pretty cool sound. So once again. So this is a C sharp minor, just in an open position, which most of us never do. It's got the C sharp, the E, and the A flat. and then he goes to an A chord basically. Second fret of the C sharp and the A of an A chord, and then plays an A flat. So this chord is pretty tricky. It's basically like a C chord, but you take the middle finger and you put it down one or up one string to the G string on the second fret, and then your pinky goes to the F sharp here, and it plays all except the low E string. This is how I this is how I fill this in. Now to finish the phrase out, you slide up again to the A flat there, but then it becomes an F chord, so it's like an F 2. Is that what that is? Yeah. Or I mean F sharp 2, or 9, add 9, and it goes nicely back into the A. So again, one more time. Okay, so that brings us to an end. That pretty much covers all the parts of Tennessee Morning. There's one or two little things in there that I left out, but you'll be able to figure them out. And you can have some fun with it. You can improvise in a lot of areas in the song. If you play it with a looper, there's a lot of other things you can do too. That's fun. And but it's a great song. I'm surprised that there's not more information available on it. And but if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, and I'll try to look back periodically, and maybe I'll put up a couple of other videos if you have any suggestions. I have a couple of ideas, but we'll just see how that goes. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.